been doing a lot of paintings of eyes. I'm really caught up with the idea of perception, the way people look at things, and the way 20 different people can look at one thing and see 20 different things. I think that's amazing. I became blind, it started a long time ago. I didn't find that out till recently, but probably when I was 11 is when I started losing my sight. It was because of a seizure disorder I have. I had some time to prepare for it, so whenever you lose your sight, you go through orientation and mobility training. And that's the training where you learn how to use the white cane, how to get around. You learn all the techniques and stuff that you're gonna need. So I started that when I could still see a little bit, so I would be ready for it. Being blind, it used to be a fear of mine, like a quadriplegic or being blind, that was a fear, and I always imagined that blindness was a huge difference than when you're sighted. But the reality is it's really not that different. I can do pretty much everything that I could do before. I can't drive a car, but other than that, I can pretty much do everything that I did before. Dogs and cars. I'm a student and I paint, so I'm pretty lucky right now. I'm doing what I want. I study English, and I'm gonna start grad school next semester. My goal is to teach. I love books. I love writing. I think writing and painting are so much the same thing. It's funny, if you read a book about how to write and you read a book about how to paint, you can pretty much cut and paste one from the other, because it's just the tools that are different, really. The way I paint is pretty much like the way anybody else paints, except that instead of using my eyes to see the painting that I'm doing, I just use my hands. I'll get an idea of the painting. Like I will think about a painting and think about it until I have it pretty much worked out in my mind. Then I'll make a drawing, and I use a textured paint. It's a fabric paint that it leaves a raised line, so that whenever it dries, you can go back and you can fill the drawing. The great thing about oil paints is that they're made from different substances. The colors actually feel different when you touch them. Like white is really thick, and burnt sienna is kind of clumpy and sort of like jelly. Black is a little bit more runny. Whenever I first started painting, it was more of an angry thing. I'd lost my vision, and I wanted to recapture some sort of visual means of some way. So I was frustrated and angry, but then after I started painting, it was exactly what I needed. Whenever you lose your sight, you learn techniques like to get around. You learn to count your steps. At first you do, and then after a while you don't have to do that. But you learn the idea of angles and spatial orientation, about where things are, and being able to remember that and make a mental map. You know, I think the subjects kind of choose me. I'll get an image in my head, and it won't go away until I paint it. It's cathartic, I guess, in a way, and then once I paint it, then it's gone. Without painting, things seem kind of disorganized, but whenever I paint, I feel really calm. I feel more like myself. I think people have a perception that, like, seeing is believing, that if you see something with your eye, that it's more real than if you don't. The information taken in through the eyes is more important than other information, or more real. But it's just an electrical impulse that goes into your brain, and then it's turned into a chemical impulses, and that goes to other parts of the brain, and that's really what we see. Before, the colors in the world, you know, they would come in, and I was more passive about it. But now, whenever I touch something, whenever I see something, it's filled with color. My mind colors it, so maybe it's how I'm feeling, you know, emotionally about it, the texture, whatever it is I'm feeling. For me, the world is a lot more colorful now than it was when I had sight, because I still have all the images. I'm not getting them through my eyes, but I'm still seeing things all the time.